Hi, this is the lesson on mapping the journey for plot and subplot. You'll be able to find this lesson on pages 121 and 122 in your Springboard book. But everything should be completed on the Google Slides. The first part of the assignment is a quick rate. So going on a physical external journey can change your emotional internal self. Whether it be somewhere new, trying something new, or meeting a new person, these are all examples of external forces. You can connect internally with the experience to explain how it made you feel or what choices you made during that time. So in this box at the bottom, it says explain a time when you went on a physical journey and the emotional changes that occurred within yourself. So my example was when I moved from North Carolina to Las Vegas, Nevada. I had never heard of Las Vegas, and we were moving there since my mother was in the Air Force. And I remember going to the airport. My aunt and uncle were there, and my cousin, and they were very sad because, well, we were leaving. And our whole life, our family was there in Goldsboro. I was nervous about taking that plane, but I was more sad that I would not be seeing my family for a really long time. The plane ride actually was fun, not ever being on one. And then when we landed, we took a limousine to our new little place. The driver told us that it never rained here. And of course, I literally thought that rain was never going to happen. So you'll notice some of the external things that I mentioned in my journey from Las Vegas from North Carolina to Las Vegas, where we went to the airport. My aunt, my uncle, my cousin, those were all external forces of the people in my life. My mother and my father, and of course my sister as well. And then giving you some information about the internal emotions that I was feeling. I was very sad. I was kind of I was kind of I was nervous at first to ride the plane, nervous about leaving, new place, new people, not knowing anyone there. Some other things is when I was, sad that I wouldn't be seeing my family anymore. And also thinking about how I thought it was never going to rain. I thought literally it never rained. So that's just some examples, or that's an example. So what you'll do is you will, in this box, oops, sorry about that. In this box, you will tell me about your external journey and how it changed your internal or emotional self. The next slide tells you or gives you episodes of different chapters that happen in Walk Two Moons. The events in a novel or film's various episodes often contribute to a character's growth or change. Sometimes the changes are immediate, and other times you don't realize how the character has changed until the story's resolution. You're going to use the graphic organizer. The episodes are already recorded for you, but on the side here, you're going to tell me how the characters respond to the changes. So the first one, as an example, says for chapters 8 and 9, a young man comes to Phoebe's and Mrs. Winterbottom comes to Phoebe's house, and Mrs. Winterbottom says not to tell Mr. Winterbottom. So what ends up happening now is that I want you to tell me how Mrs. Winterbottom and how Phoebe Winterbottom, what changes do they go through? How do they respond to this? You might say that, well, Phoebe was a little confused because Mrs. Winterbottom tells her not to tell Mr. Winterbottom. She even says that, well, that's kind of strange because my mother tells my father absolutely everything. So that could be an example as to how characters respond to change. You will do that for chapters 11, chapter 15, 16, and 17. Again, reading this episode and telling me how the characters respond to the changes. Slide 3, you will also do the same thing, except now you got some fun clips to watch here. We have the episodes from the film Up. We have the first one when Russell ends up being with Carl, and at this point we have no choice but to take, he has no choice but to take Russell. The next one is when he finally gets to Paradise Falls. How is he responding to these changes? And then the third clip is when he and Russell meet Kevin and Doug. explain again here how these characters respond to the changes. I do hope that this was an informative video. If you do have any questions or concerns at all, you can email me or leave me a message on Google Classroom underneath the assignment. It is titled Springboard 2.5, Activity 2.5, Plot and Subplot. Hope this helps.